Like I said, beating the New York Jets is not going to get Jalen Hurts a starting job in 2023. It's nice beginning. You want to go into every single game with the notion that, hey, get this, let's play hard. Love the fact that he got hit on the sidelines, bounced right up. Jordan Mailata's over there protecting him like it was a hockey game. Fantastic. Football Monday. Welcome aboard National Football Show. It's your boy, Big Silz. Please hit the like button. What a great weekend for football. Look, I know other sports are going on like baseball. People are jockeying for a position when it comes to the playoffs. Great to see the Phillies are sitting in the 2-hole when it comes to the wild card. But football was dominant over the weekend. Man, I must have just sat one day and had the NFL Network on the entire day until I went to bed. And it was great. The access, the preseason games, I think, are better than they've been in the past for whatever reason. You got a good sense of some teams and their rosters. Look, that's what I was looking at most of it over the weekend was the rosters. And most notably, the game that we all cover, and that is the Eagles and the Jets. I want to get into that. We're going to start off there real quick here, but what a great weekend. It was, without a doubt, a fantastic weekend for football. Okay. Let me start this out by saying this. A.J. Brown plays like his hair's on fire. That guy doesn't take a down off. Here's some of the takeaways that I have. Then we'll get to you guys here in a second. A.J. Brown does not take plays off. And like I said, he plays like his hair's on fire. Sense of urgency. He's a baller. That guy, you know how sometimes we used to watch Randy Moss when the play wasn't going his way? You just take the play off. He'd tip it off. Not that guy. That guy's involved in the run game. That guy's involved in blocking downfield for his guys. He is a player that plays with an edge. And that is exactly what that group needed from a year ago. The energy that A.J. Brown puts in that Eagle huddle is contagious. They were playing all with a sense of urgency. Let's start with Jalen Hurts. Look, I'm going to start it out here. You're not getting medals from Dan Sileo here on a Monday against the Jets. They're an improving roster, the Jets. He did what he was supposed to do. Congratulations. You scored against the Jets. I told you this. Those aren't the games that I'm gauging Jalen Hurts on for 2022 or preseason Jet games. It's a non-factor game. Hey, he did his job. Congratulations. No pats on the back for that. Did the offense look crisp? Absolutely. Did the O-line look good? Absolutely. Did Jalen get the ball to where it needed to? Absolutely. Congratulations, you didn't rob a bank. Show me this against Dallas, Green Bay, Minnesota, and Arizona. You do not get pats on the back for exhibition football against the New York sorry-ass Jets. I don't know where people are going with this. He looked fabulous. Against the Jets, great. Fantastic. You do not get respect for playing against the Jets. You do not. It's more of a slap in the face to give a guy credit against the Jets. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep moving the offense. He was perfect. Great against the Jets. Okay? Rent is due in September. Absolutely. Versus that Lions team. Look. Great. Offense, the ones look good. Fantastic. I got a hit list and takeaways here. Okay? Like I said, beating the New York Jets is not going to get Jalen Hurts a starting job in 2023. It's nice beginning. You want to go into every single game with the notion that, hey, get this, let's play hard. Love the fact that he got hit on the sidelines, bounced right up. Jordan Mailata's over there protecting him like it was a hockey game. Fantastic. All of that. It's expected for a good team. That's how good teams play. You want to watch a shitty team? Watch the Dallas Cowboys. That's a shitty team. I'll get to that a little bit later. Okay, the Cowboys. 17 penalties, 129 yards in penalty yards. I mean, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. Cowboys, their depth looks terrible. I know their frontline guys didn't play, but you're at least looking for effort. That was lack of effort. Jordan Davis, he's out of shape. However, when he's in there, I heard Barrett talking about him earlier today. When he's in the game, he creates a new line of scrimmage. And early on when they had him in, he was on the second tier. God, do you know how great that is for linebackers? For them to be able to scrape the lanes going down the sidelines like that? He was spectacular. He started playing high a little bit later on in his reps. That usually comes from fatigue. We'll talk more about the coaching here in a second, but hey, every time that he engaged when it came to the guy in front of him, he was the dominant force. He looks better than advertised. Okay? I thought he was really good at Georgia. I didn't think he was going to translate into being able to grab the – he was grabbing guys like Adama Sue did earlier in his career when he was in Detroit. He looked like Adama Sue, but bigger. Sue created a second line of scrimmage. I think Adama Sue's best years were in Detroit. And to me, he played like that. He was impressive, pressing the guy. Even when the guy got front side on him, he's so large, he was pushing the guy into the second level. Very good. Very good. High marks for him. Big Silz gives him high marks. Okay? And by the way, let me go back on Jalen. Jalen gets high marks. Jalen gets high marks. He was very effective. I don't want to miss that. He was effective. Nakobe Dean, I'll tell you one thing. Nakobe Dean looks awful tiny out there. But I'll tell you what, he plays like Bob Sanders. Remember the old defensive back that played for the Colts? Who every time he slammed into somebody, this guy wrecked himself. I see why he has shoulder injuries. Man, he lit that tight end up. He filled that gap and that fit, and he showed me he can read on the play run. He gets it. He was reading his keys. I thought he did a really fine job. I just don't know how much he can hold up. Now, look, Denzel Perriman is not a big guy, and he's played a boatload of years. Swear to you, when Denzel Perriman was with the Chargers, he came walking towards me. I thought he was a safety. I couldn't believe how small he was. But he's played an exceptional amount of years, and he plays hard. Dean showed me he's going to be a player too. Really fine. I mean, the fits that he had, again, though, but I would say this. I thought all of them looked a little gassed, and that's why they ended up having the Jets come back on them. We'll talk more about that here in a second. As I've told you, I think Kaiser White has been the star of camp. That guy can play, and he's in shape. He jumped that route. By the way, Zach Wilson just tips his route so much. He's terrible at it. I mean, kid, at least look in the stands at a MILF and then turn around and look back at your wide receiver. Find the greatest looking MILF you can in the seats and find her, because we know you like that as well. But, dude, don't look down these wideouts like that. You're going to get them killed. And linebackers like White, who are experienced, are going to jump the routes like that. He tipped every pass off. If you've got any NFL experience, you're gonna read that. He just kept like he was at BYU still. Dude, got to be better. Then he ends up getting hurt. I think it's the same knee on a non-contact play. I mean, I don't know. I look at Zach Wilson. He's got a nice arm. But, man, I don't know if he's going to get it. I mean, I just don't see it. Dude, you tipped your passes the entire game. The entire game. Jonathan Gannon really didn't have to do anything creative because guys were reading the quarterback's head almost the entire game. Kyzir White's played great. Jonathan Gannon now. By the way, I'm giving you my takeaways, and then we're going to go to what you guys have to say here in a second, okay? Please hit the like button. Thank you, guys. Jonathan Gannon. Got to get these guys in better shape. Got to get them in better shape. The reason that the Jets came back, that team is not conditioned good enough, especially on the defensive side. I don't believe outside of Kyzir White that there's one defender that can play 60 minutes of football right now. I don't believe it. They need to do some extra running. They need to do some extra conditioning. Hell, have an entire day of running. That team's not in shape. You allowed them to come back. Players were playing high. And, again, a little bit too soft in the zones for me. A little soft. 4 yards off the ball. Come on, guy. You're supposed to have these press corners. This new invention called the defensive pass rush. Get up on them guys. Jam them guys. What are you playing 4 yards off the ball for? Dude, slide up. Do something. And get in better shape. Conditioning was a factor for the Eagles. You're supposed to beat the piss out of the Jets. By the way, you're going to have a better pass rushing football team this week with the Browns, and you're going to have a better football team and a better roster. Okay? You're going to have a better roster. This is one of the teams that if Watson was healthy would be considered a Super Bowl contender. This won't be the roadkill landfill Jets. This is going to be a good football team. Myles Garrett gets after people. They do, okay? There's I think the controlled scrimmage, I think it's Wednesday. That's going to be a good thing, and then they play Sunday. Yeah, got to get in better shape. Them half-hour practices, it reared its head in that game. Cam Jurgens is as advertised, and he looks like a replica Jason Kelce. I mean, he's got a nasty streak to him. He gets up on the second level. He has great hands. He's a little bigger than Jason Kelce. And I got to tell you, man, I was pleasantly surprised by his play. Great hand placement, ran the offensive line. Odd even is this. If you've got two defensive tackles, that's an odd front. An even front is the two DTs on the guards. Odd front is the nose. Thought he did a good job going back and forth and setting the offensive line. He was really good in that. His blocking, then he jumped on that one guy. Really good stuff, man. Really, really, really good stuff. In the way that they were able to get him in, get him some reps. He looks like a ball player. He's good. He's good. And I was impressed with it too, on how I was able to get up on another level there. The coaching. Yeah, Sirianni, I thought and his coaching staff was organized on the sidelines. Didn't have a lot of pre-snap penalties. Everything was very organized. Again, conditioning is a factor for the Eagles right now. They need to be a team that is, I wouldn't say concerned about it here on the 15th. You still got a couple weeks. but they need to run some gassers. You have to run some gassers here, man. I mean, that's why you saw Jordan Davis starting to play high late in the game or late in his reps. Like right now, I don't think Jordan Davis could get past 20 reps in a football game and be productive. That guy needs to be playing around 40 reps. Okay? And as the game went on, you saw conditioning take its toll on them. So Jalen played well. He looked good. He was effective. Moved the chains. Got up from a big hit. Jordan Davis, better than advertised in my book. Here, I'll give you my game balls and my grades. Does Jalen get a game ball? No, it's the Jets. Jordan Davis does. I give Jalen, though, an A. Jordan Davis, a B because he's not in shape. A, if he was in shape. His technique was great. Nakobe Dean, A. I thought there was like one or two plays where he allowed to guard on his front side. Kaiser White, A. He's a ball player, man. Best acquisition in the offseason next to A.J. Brown. And as I said about A.J. Brown, what's impressive about him, and I watched him, and I went back and watched the game again. Every single freaking play that he's on an NFL field, he plays like his hair's on fire. That is hard to beat. When you got 53 guys with their hair on fire, it's hard to beat. It's an attitude. Gannon, we'll see. Nice start. Not in the best condition. Still a little too light on the corners. We'll see. Still soft. Jurgens, outstanding. Outstanding. Some good stuff in this game. Please hit the like button. Muhammad, Jordan Davis is strong like an ox. He really did. He pushed that line of scrimmage back, and I thought he was spectacular. Steven says it was a preseason game. Every team's conditioning is off. I don't give a shit about every other team, Steven. I care about the Eagles. That's for other teams to be concerned about. Concerned about your own self. Get in shape. Look, it takes no athletic ability to be in shape and know where you're supposed to line up. The Eagles knew exactly where to line up, which is great. Got to be in better shape. And I agree with you, Steven, not to be a jackass, okay? But, I mean, I don't care about other teams. Run more. Run in your off time. You don't have to have a coach on your ass like a parrot telling you need to be in better shape. If you're watching yourself on game film and you saw yourself on film, there were lows out there. There were lows in high play. I watched it. I saw it, especially in the second half. Okay? Game speed, conditioning, whatever, it's code. Look like a dynasty, Silz. Okay, Kyle. Hey, way to build your dynasty off the Jets preseason game. I'm good. Those are some of my takeaways. Again, though, man, I mean, when I'm thinking of Jonathan Gannon here, still a little bit too, I hate to use the word soft because they didn't play soft. Okay? Still too, still like, it's not soft. I'm trying to come up with a word. Okay? How about safe? Press those guys, man. You got Bradbury now and Slay. Press them dudes. Okay? Tape, you're right. Tape, you make $15 million a year. You come in out of shape. That's unacceptable. Yeah, but again, remember something. They're not conditioning. It just doesn't seem in practice that they're doing any conditioning. I don't know how you get ready for a season and you don't condition yourself. Jordan Mailata looked great too, by the way. Dank says, I think Jalen showed what he did last year in that drive. Just has to do it more. That's the key. Again, Dank, like I said, I'm going to gauge him more against, well, he probably won't play after that hit now versus the Browns because they don't want to take any chances of putting. I thought Minshew looked good. Okay, I thought he looked decent. I didn't think he looked bad. I don't think he did himself any harm. Jalen Reagor, I don't know. There's a rumor going out there the Broncos have a small interest in him. I don't know how true that is. Just some of my friends in Denver are telling me that there was word going around that the Broncos had inquired, at least on a phone call, to Howie about Jalen Reagor. I have no idea what the compensation would be or even if it's a second call yet. But supposedly there was a conversation on Friday about Jalen Reagor potentially going to the Broncos. So I couldn't confirm it. But one guy that I really respect a lot in Denver said that, he knows people in the front office, and he's saying they're looking for wideouts around the league. Reagor is just one of 5 guys that they've inquired about too. And also Cole Beasley, who's still on the street. They've also inquired on what his conditioning is right now. So Jalen Reagor's name came up in Denver on Friday. I just don't know how strong it is right now. Gannon on the hot seat. All these coaches are on the hot seat. Why would you have interest? I don't know. I wouldn't have any interest. I'll be shocked if he survives the cut tomorrow. That'd be their first opportunity to whack him would be tomorrow. Jalen Reagor making the team. Get this. The Turk's coming for him. It's just a matter of when. He doesn't probably think it's coming here this early in camp. First cut. Now, first cut could give him an opportunity to land somewhere else. What you don't want to be is cut on the last cut. Because then you got a holiday and you got to clear waivers, and most teams have their 53 set by the time Tuesday rolls around. So you've got to hope maybe you get cut early in the process. If I was Jalen Reagor and I was told already, I might even, my agent, go to Howie and say, am I making this team? You might as well cut me now. If I'm Jalen Reagor, I might want to be cut now. Let me see if I get picked up on waivers by somebody. And let me see if I can stick with another football team. I would not want to go through the entire process with the Eagles and wait until the Labor Day cut. That's not what I would want at all. Okay? They're not cutting a first-round pick? Yeah, but let me tell you, Jay, right now, that first-round pick, in my opinion, the roster spot's more important. Are you going to keep 9 offensive linemen, or are you going to keep more linebackers? More linebackers they may need. You know why? Because of special teams. They haven't really addressed all that well this offseason. And where do you get the majority of your special teams guys? You get them from the linebacking and the defensive back core. So to me, that roster spot is very important, especially with how many talented offensive linemen they have in the building. You may want to keep 9 guys. Why would I want to cut a guy who is going to get snatched up right away, and you got the best offensive line coach in the National Football League, Jeff Stoutland, coaching this kid up, and all of a sudden you see one of these guys get on the open market? Why would you let loose of that so you would keep a first-round draft choice just to save face? That's not winning football. That's not winning football. To me, Jalen Reagor's roster spot is more valuable than the player. Okay? I'm not passing out free chairs. There's only 53 of them chairs in 32 rooms in the world. I'm not giving one of those chairs up for a guy because he was drafted in the first round and has sucked out loud for 3 years. I am not doing that. 2 years ago, 1 year ago, okay, I'm giving you the benefit. We'll see if you can climb into your NFL skin and become a player. It's over, kid. It's over in Philly, at least. There is nothing Jalen Reagor can do to save his job right now. Nothing. Except this. Howie Roseman giving him a free chair in the building, which he's known to have done. Okay? Which he's known to have done. Derek Barnett does not belong on that team. Okay? He doesn't. Does not belong on that team. J-Jaw does not belong on that team. There's 3 roster spots you could use for linebackers and O-linemen. Seth says Howie does stuff like that, Silz. Yeah, well, and you're passing out valuable roster spots right now to guys who can help your team and your salary cap. Because remember this, I tell people this all the time. Half the league is made up of late round and undrafted players. Why? Because you got to balance your cap. You don't balance your cap with first, second, and third rounders. Look how many late round draft choices the Eagles have on their roster. Shit, their quarterback is a second round pick making 1.1. The value of Jalen Hurts as a player right now is monster. You're getting a $30 million player right now for $1.1 million. You better take full advantage of it. And keeping J-Jaw and Jalen Reagor and Derek Barnett on your football team defeats the entire process. Defeats the entire process. That's a good roster. I guess where I'm animated here on this is don't waste it. Because you're on the threshold of doing something great here. You're on the brink of something great. Every move you make moving forward as you get closer to September is needed to be done with strategy in mind. Okay? You've got to listen to what's going on here. Those 3 roster spots can be given out to players that deserve to be on the team. You don't deserve to be on the team because you were a first round or second round draft choice. Carson Wentz goes, happens everywhere. Again, don't waste Jalen Hurts' contract. And I'll say something to you here, Carson Wentz. Very seldom are the Eagles going to be in a position where their quarterback is not killing them in their salary cap. They are in a place right now that they haven't been for 3 years. Okay? Are you completely taking advantage of it? I would say they are. The way that they're rebuilding the roster, I would say they are. But continue the process. You have a chance of pouring better cement on this 2022 team than you did on the 17 team. The 2017 team's foundation was not built strong enough. It imploded in 4 years. This has a chance on being here for a while because the quarterback and his salary dictate this. You got draft choices next year. You got a quarterback on a $1.1 million contract. My friends, Michael Irvin said it last week. The Eagles are on the threshold of potentially building a dynasty. You could be on the brink right now of building a roster like the Bills have. Jalen was perfect from the pocket. 5-star. Yeah. Beat the Packers. Beat the Packers. Beat the Cowboys. Beat the Jets in preseason. Zach Wilson looked to me to be worse. Prior to his injury, he looked worse to me than he did a year ago. Bro, when you drop back and you're eyeballing your wide receiver, You're not playing against Utah State any longer, kid. You've got to look these guys off. These guys read every single thing and every single technique and every single key and every single habit that you have. Going to your mouth, telling me it's going to be a pass. Looking right or left. They'll look and go, he likes to look right when he throws to the right hash. They'll pick all that stuff up. You put a book on these guys and you start putting tendencies together. They've got a guy in the building and in the box that watches player tendencies at the quarterback position on what he does on every play. Manning used to have that habit of going to his mouth when he was going to throw the ball. He'd always do that. Everyone knew he was throwing the ball. No matter if he had a play action set up formation, you knew he was throwing it. There's a guy in the booth watching all this. Old Cole goes, what do you think of Sirianni getting fired up and having his players' backs? I don't know. Great. I don't want my coach fighting. Okay? I want my players fighting for him. I don't want my coach speaking for my quarterback. I was more impressed with Milata getting his ass over there. Get out of here. That's what I want to see. I don't want Jalen Hurts' dad having to stick up for him. I want Jalen Hurts' boys to stick up for him. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see teammates backing you. Remember when Geno Smith got his jaw broken in the Jet locker room? Not one offensive lineman went over there to get his back. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. Nobody in the Jets locker room got Geno Smith's back after he got his jaw broken. Hey, man. Okay, I'm in that locker room and I don't see an old lineman getting in some D lineman's ass because you broke that kid's jaw. That'd be a problem for me, man. You couldn't break my linebacker's jaw like that. So Sirianni getting fired up? Yeah, okay. Nick's a fiery up kind of guy. He's a paisan. Good for him. We will shower Hurts with rubies and fine incense when he wins the East. Don't set your sights, Muhammad, so low. Big pick, and Cam Jurgens was absolutely fantastic in that debut of his. He was fantastic. There used to be a guy named Silz on this show who's the new guy. He sucks. Joseph, I'm giving you my assessment of what I saw against the Jets. You want me to lie? Okay, the team sucked. They didn't. They didn't suck. I want to see my coach throw hands. Okay, old Cole. You want to see your coach throw hands like Buddy Ryan? All right. Hey, Cam Jurgens, as advertised. As advertised. Absolutely. As advertised. So you take away from this, okay? You take away from this a really good way to start it. 6 for 6, 158.3 quarterback rating. Against the Jets, great. That's what you need. Okay? That's exactly what you have to have. I saw Gardner Minshew with 130 rating last year against that same Jets team in a real game. So let's put everything in perspective here. Okay, Minshew in a game that mattered against that same Jets team played exceptionally well against them. So put everything in context here. Minshew's game against the Jets was more impressive than what Jalen's drive was because that game mattered. It was a win on the road. Let's put that in there. Jalen played great. Minshew played against that same team in the regular season and wiped the floor up with them. And Goddard have 100 yards? Somebody had 100 yards receiving. They blew that team off the field. Yeah, but hey, Jay, it's just the Jets. But that's the kind of performance you want from Jalen. You should kill those teams. But again, back slaps for the Jets? Not here. Not yet. Back slaps on the road, Ford Field, then you start getting the true back slaps. Then you get game ball. Then you start to show yourself. Great. Hey, watch this. Let me back up and sign it on the line. A start you should be expecting every single week against inferior teams. I don't know what people want me to say. Man, he was great. Again, I'm not impressed with the Jets. You know, you get into a fist fight with tomato cans and you beat them all up, and then you fight Tyson and get the doors knocked off you. That's what the Eagles were a year ago. Okay? I thought today we would expect more and raise expectations. Let's elevate the expectations of the team. Okay? Silz, we're supposed to do that. Amen. Amen. We'll get into some of the games. I saw some teams like we're going to hit on the Cowboys too. That Cowboy team in depth, I don't know. Concern about strong safety and tight end number 2 position. What are your thoughts? Blunt, I think the depth on the Eagle team is good. They're just not in shape. They've got to get in better shape and better conditioning, in my opinion. Minshew had command. Never saw that last year with Jalen. Remember something, though. Minshew's playing against 2s and 3s. Take that into consideration with Gardner Minshew. No rip on him, but he's playing with 2s and 3s, and he's playing against 2s and 3s. So you're going to look, if you're an experienced quarterback, you may look a tad bit better than the starter. I don't think he looked better than Jalen. Did you expect to pass the first play? Why not in exhibition football try it? Why not? It's part of the game that's got to increase. If the Eagles are going to go far, and I'm not talking about winning the weak-ass East. I'm talking about being a player, a top 4 team in the NFC. There's going to have to be games you win from the pocket. Okay? Yeah, Jalen Reagor, I don't know. I just don't know. I'll tell you one more time, though. I have to say this. I am really impressed with A.J. Brown, and I'm impressed with him away from the ball. Dude, he hits people. If you've got your head on a swivel out there and you think that guy's going to take a football playoff, A.J. Brown's going to come hunting you down. He's going to come hunting you down, man. That guy can play. He can play. Browns are up next. Controlled scrimmages on Wednesday, and then a Sunday game with the Browns. We'll look around the rest of the NFL. A little bit more on Jonathan Gannon, too. He's in my bullseye number 1. But, hey, friends, always remember this. Our friends at Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free if you're hurt or injured on the job, this is where you want to go when it comes to getting fair compensation for you and your family. Last 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has collected over $13.5 billion worth of compensation for their clients. And for the people is not a slogan. This is who they are. Look, they have over 800 attorneys and offices in Philly, New York, and in Florida. My friends, Morgan & Morgan's the biggest law firm in the country, and there's no such thing as this. A small case, a fender bender. Nobody's getting intimidated with John Morgan at Morgan & Morgan. Do me a favor. Please call him at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation is free. 800-512-1600. Open 24/7, 7 days a week. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, you tell them Big Silz sent you.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.